Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to give you an overview of my Specialized Allez Sprint Crit Race machine. This bike is one of the limited edition Specialized Allez Sprint frame sets that retailed for $1,200 back in 2019 when I bought it. The paint on this bike really pops in the sun. It's the gloss chameleon purple. It also has the satin black fork. For this build, I installed the S-Works Carbon Aerofly 2 handlebar. I wanted to make my bike as light and as aero as possible. Mounted to my stem, you see my GoPro mount. This is my favorite place to mount my GoPro for immersive filming when I'm racing. The stem is a 100mm S-Works Venge stem. My computer combo mount is another great place to mount my GoPro, but I really do prefer the top of the stem. This computer mount was manufactured by a company in Australia called C-Cash. It's made from CNC aluminum. My brake set is a Dura-Ace 9000. It is the older model. I chose this because it is a little lighter, but unfortunately it doesn't have as much clearance as the newer models do. These brakes will accommodate a 700 by 28C tire. I opted for the Shimano Dura-Ace STR 9100 shifters. This is a 2x11 shifter set. I chose this shifter set because they are ultra lightweight. They have a narrow profile, which is great for crit racing. I chose to wrap my handlebars in the Physique Solo Cush Tacky handlebar tape. A keen-eyed observer will notice that I do have Supacaz bar end plugs. That's from another wrap that I had previously. The next touch point on this bike is my S-Works power saddle in a 143mm width. This is an extremely lightweight saddle and it has carbon rails. Because it has carbon rails, I have these carbon rail adapters for the Venge seat post. I have this gold stripe here to mark my seat post if I have to remove it or put it back in going to or from a race. For this build, I have a Dura-Ace 9100 crankset. Matching the crankset is the 9100 front derailleur. If you're mixing and matching Shimano parts, the front derailleur and the crankset should come from the same generation. Completing the group set is the Shimano R9100 Dura-Ace rear derailleur. This rear derailleur can easily fit up to a 30-tooth cassette. On this wheel set, I have a Shimano Ultegra 1128 cassette. This cassette is perfect for climbing in the area that I live. My favorite component of this build is my Roval CL50 wheel set. This wheel set is extremely lightweight, tubeless ready, and has DT Swiss internal hub parts. The CL50s do not have the ceramic speed bearings like the CLX50s. They also have rounded spokes, not bladed spokes, but they do have a crash replacement warranty. Here I have a little bit of damage that I sustained in a recent crit race. Luckily, the damage is only superficial scratching and it is not significant enough to try to use the crash replacement warranty. The clip at the beginning of this video is from when I sustained that damage. I have set this wheel set up tubeless, and that helps me because I only have to put in about 70 psi max in my rear wheel and 65 psi max in my front wheel when I'm racing. Overall, this is an extremely aggressive, purpose-driven crit race machine. Completing my build is a Shimano Dura-Ace 165 crank side power meter. This power meter was assembled by Stages and it allows me to keep track of my power as I'm both racing and training. Another item I almost forgot to mention is my titanium quick release axles. Those axles are actually about 60 grams for the set, so they are extremely lightweight. Overall, this build cost about $5,500 to put together. I believe it was well worth the money. If I wanted to get an equivalent Specialized tarmac, for that price, I wouldn't get deep dish wheels, I wouldn't get the power saddle, and I wouldn't get the Aerofly 2 handlebars. What I would get for that price is a Tarmac SL7 Expert with standard wheels, Di2 shifting, and a carbon frame set, but that bike would weigh about 18 pounds. As seen here, this bike weighs 16 pounds flat and that's including the bottle cages and the Dura-Ace pedals that you see. Thanks for checking out my overview of my Specialized Allez Sprint. I do have some races coming up this summer. If you like content like this and want to see some of my upcoming races, be sure to subscribe. Tell me what you think of this build in the comments.